If you could improve or enhance anything in your life or your finances, what area or areas would you choose and why? I ask this question of every financial planning client that comes into our office. It allows us to consider what's most important to them and why it's so important. And since listening, the ability to truly understand another individual is one of the most important leadership skills a leader can possess. By helping people answer this question, we can provide a vision for a better future and a path to that future. I've made my 26-year career as a listener and a leader who has spent a lifetime listening to people's goals and objectives and then developing strategies to help them realize their dreams. 23 years ago, my partner and I founded the firm Brown & Tedstrom, a wealth management firm, and currently we have 16 employees, 190 clients, and $360 million of assets under our care. Barron's and Worth magazine have recognized us as one of the top wealth management firms in the country, and both Mark and I are regularly quoted in national and local publications, including the Denver Business Journal. I've been a board member at Bonfils Blood Center and Sewell Child Development Center, and I've also been on the board of the Family Resource Center. I'm currently a Rotarian and recently served for 5 years as the president of the Denver Advisory Board. And in all my community involvement, I have been a visionary. And I've recognized that for transformation to truly occur, we must all think about what we can do to make a difference in our community and in our world. Because leaders need to be visionaries because they can help others see a better future. Speaking of visionaries, let me back up a moment and talk about Dr. Milo Tedstrom, Grandy, as we all knew him when we were growing up. He was my paternal grandfather, and he lived to 104 years old. Just recently died about 6 years ago. Why Grandy? Because he was a leader and a visionary. You may have seen this article in the Wall Street Journal that was published several months after his death. Born in 1900, he was a young leader. In the late 20s, after graduating from the Washington University Medical School with his bride, he hopped into his Model A and drove across the desert on wooden plank roads to Orange County, California. And since it was the Great Depression, there are many times he received oranges and chickens in return for his services. So the question, do you take credit cards, really was, do you take chickens? Dr. Milo Tedstrom was the first cardiologist in Orange County, and he served as chief of medical staff and chairman of the board at St. Joseph's Hospital. When he was 90, he asked me, "Would you help me with my financial plan?" I guess he didn't expect to live that long. So I began to lead him through his financial planning. And due to my close relationship with my grandfather, I learned several things. 1, you can do anything you put your heart and mind to. 2, you may live past 100, so you better plan accordingly. And 3, if you do what you love, Randy surely loved his work, you can be the best. All 3 generations, including my dad, became closer to each other with an enhanced sense of connection due to this experience. But it's really the 4th generation that matters most to me. You see, here's a picture of all 4 generations of our family. Grandy on the right, my dad in the middle, and I'm holding my son, Wesley. He's now 11, but it's so important for me to be a leader to him and model that leadership. As a matter of fact, just a couple months ago, I took my daughter Haley, who's now 9. We went to the Denver Rescue Mission to serve a meal to those that were staying the night and eating there. And she gripped my hand so tightly. I knew she was nervous, but I also knew that it would be an experience that would be valuable to her. After the evening, I said, how did you enjoy it? She said, "Dad, I was scared, but I think it was worthwhile. I'm glad I did it." So I want to provide my children the best decision-making and leadership skills possible, and I also want to be an influential community leader. As a community leader, I'd like to be influential in public energy policy. You know, after every oil shock, there's a recession to follow. And think about how much safer our country would be if we weren't so dependent upon foreign oil, and in particular in the Middle East. I want to be a part of that solution. So let me ask each of you the same question. If you could enhance or improve anything in your life or finances, what area or areas would you choose and why? To be a quality leader, we must know the right questions to ask and to actively listen to and understand the individual's response. It is only then we can have a firm grasp, it is only when we have a firm grasp of the answer can we begin to provide real leadership.
Good. It still was 5.5 minutes. So I think also you can have a little bit of